Standing on the edge of yesterday, counting all the words I couldn't say. The city lights, they flicker out of sight.
Hello. It is 3 in the morning. You are awake. You did not choose to be awake. Something woke you, or something kept you from returning to sleep after a natural brief waking, and you are lying here, in the specific loneliness of 3 a.m., wondering what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. But something is happening, and it has a biology that is far more interesting and far more addressable than anything you have been told. Shall we begin?
Let me tell you why 3 a.m., not 2 a.m., not 4 a.m., specifically 3 a.m. or the 3 to 4 a.m. so many women describe. There is a reason. It is not random. It is biological clockwork. Enter the interior night for the first time. The body landscape at its most still. The deep sleep period of early night is ending. The hormone rivers are shifting. Your body is on a skin cells runs its own 24-hour internal clock. These cellular clocks are supposed to be synchronized, among other things, by your hormones, running in concert like.
I didn't know I had trillions of clocks. I thought I had one. I thought the problem was in my brain, that my brain was somehow broken. I didn't know my liver was keeping a different time from my gut, and my gut was keeping a different time from my sleep center. And all of them were supposed to be coordinated by hormones that are no longer reliable.
At 3 a.m. specifically, your body is at its lowest core temperature of the 24-hour cycle. Your cortisol begins its pre-dawn rise. Your melatonin has peaked and is declining. In a well-synchronized body, you sleep through this transition seamlessly. In a body whose cellular clocks have drifted out of phase, this transition point, this 3 a.m. intersection of falling melatonin and rising cortisol, becomes a window of vulnerability. You surface, and then you can't go back down.
Mine is the fall asleep wake up pattern. I can fall asleep fine. I am exhausted by 9:30. I am asleep by 10. And then without fail, something wakes me at 3. A hot flash. Sometimes it's just awake. No reason, wide awake. And I will lie there until 5:30. Then I can sleep. And then the alarm goes off at 6:30.
Mine is different. I sleep fine until about 1:30. Then I'm up for 20-30 minutes, go back, then up again at 3, then back. I sleep in fragments. I've adapted to it. I told my doctor I sleep in fragments now. She said that happens with age. I believed her for 3 years.
For me, it's the hot flashes. I fall asleep, then I wake up soaking. And after a hot flash, I simply cannot go back to sleep. My heart is racing slightly. I'm hot and then suddenly cold. I'm wide awake. I've tried everything the apps suggest. Nothing works. Because, and I know this as a pharmacist, nothing I'm trying is actually addressing what's causing the hot flash in the first place. 3 different patterns. 3 different dominant mechanisms. Grace's 3 a.m. awakening is primarily a circadian desynchronization issue, compounded by progesterone withdrawal. Margaret's fragmented sleep is primarily a cortisol rhythm disruption, with a gut-brain axis contribution. Priya's hot flash awakening is primarily vasomotor, but what drives the vasomotor response and why she can't return to sleep after it involves a system she has almost certainly never heard of in relation to sleep. We are going to address all 3, starting with the one nobody is talking about. I am going to tell you something about sleep that your doctor almost certainly has not told you. Not because they are withholding it, but because this research is brand new. Most clinical training has not yet caught up with it. The system most responsible for your sleep quality, after your brain, is not your hormones. It is your gut. Your gut contains approximately 40 trillion bacteria. These bacteria produce, among other things, approximately 95% of your body's serotonin. Serotonin is the precursor to melatonin, your sleep hormone. Without adequate serotonin production in your gut, your pineal gland does not have sufficient raw material to produce the melatonin your brain needs to sleep. The chain is gut bacteria to serotonin to melatonin to sleep, and most sleep content starts at the end of this chain, at melatonin. Nobody is talking about the beginning.
95% of serotonin is made in the gut. And I did not learn this in pharmacy school in the context of sleep. I learned it in the context of antidepressants. I never connected it to why I can't sleep.
The connection was only confirmed at scale in 2026, but it completes the picture.
Midlife changes affect gut microbiome diversity directly. Stress affects it. Diet changes affect it. Disrupted sleep itself disrupts gut bacteria, which then further disrupts sleep. It is a documented vicious cycle, confirmed in peer-reviewed literature, and it has never been explained to you.
Now, progesterone. You have probably heard that progesterone is calming. What you have almost certainly not been told is the specific mechanism by which it calms, what happens in your brain when it falls. Progesterone is metabolized in your body to a compound called allopregnanolone. Allopregnanolone directly activates GABA receptors in your brain. GABA is your brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. It quiets neural activity, reduces anxiety, and promotes sleep. Here's the part nobody has told you. Allopregnanolone activates the same GABA receptor sites targeted by benzodiazepines. You may know benzodiazepines by their brand names: Valium, Xanax, sleeping tablets. Your body, when progesterone is adequate, produces its own version, for free, every night. Progesterone levels begin declining in the early 40s, before their last period. The timing is gradual, and because nobody connects the dots for you, you spend years blaming yourself.
Your habits, your stress levels, your failure to implement the sleep hygiene protocol correctly, when the mechanism is physiological, and it has a name.
When you said that natural sleeping tablet, I had to stop and sit with it, because for 14 months I have been lying awake and people have offered me melatonin supplements and sleep hygiene tips, and nobody, not one person, told me that the primary sedative mechanism my brain had been running on for 30 years moved, and that this was the reason I couldn't sleep. Not stress, not screen time, a specific named biological withdrawal.
There is a third mechanism compounding everything else. And it is one you have almost certainly been participating in without knowing it has a name. It is called social jet lag, and for women it is a structural problem built into modern life. Research shows that women's circadian rhythms run, on average, 30 to 6 structure of carrot minutes earlier than men's. Women naturally want to sleep earlier and wake earlier. This is documented biology.
Evening childcare and domestic responsibilities. Digital devices, phones, tablets, televisions, emitting blue light that tells your brain it is still daytime. Social schedules set around others' needs. You are being asked, every day, to live 60 to 90 minutes later than your biology prefers. The result is a permanent, low-grade circadian misalignment. You are jet-lagged.
I've been telling myself I'm a night owl. I've been going to bed at 11:30, midnight, because that's when the house is finally quiet and I can have some peace. And you're telling me that for a woman my age, 11:30 is physiologically the equivalent of a man going to bed at 1?
The phone screen in the dark bedroom, the television on until midnight, is directly linked to elevated cardiovascular risk through a mechanism that operates separately from sleep disruption alone. The light itself, at night, is damaging the vasculature. Independently,
I want to say something on behalf of every woman who has Googled sleep hygiene and felt like a failure. I have a consistent sleep schedule. I have blackout curtains. I have no screens after 9. Awful. I have a cool room. I have a white noise machine. I have magnesium glycinate. I have chamomile tea, which I am currently drinking at 3 in the morning for all the good it's doing. And I am still awake because generic sleep hygiene was designed for a body without the specific mechanisms we've just been talking about. It is not wrong advice. It is just insufficient advice.
The standard sleep hygiene protocol addresses the surface conditions of sleep. It does not address the gut microbiome. It does not address the progesterone GABA mechanism. It does not address the cellular clock desynchronization. It does not address social jet lag specifically for women. If you have tried the protocol and it hasn't worked, have not failed the protocol. The protocol has failed to address your specific biology. Here is what does address it.
Tool 1 targets the gut sleep chain. Because your gut bacteria produce the serotonin that becomes your melatonin, improving gut microbiome diversity is a direct sleep intervention. The research-backed route, dietary fiber diversity, specifically prebiotic foods that feed the short-chain fatty acid bacteria associated with better sleep, garlic, onion, leeks, asparagus, bananas, sleep cones. Not a supplement first, food first, and specifically diverse food.
the gut bacteria associated with poor sleep are found in low-diversity gut environments. Variety in the diet is variety in the microbiome is better sleep. Tool 2 targets the progesterone GABA mechanism. This is a conversation to have with a menopause-trained clinician, but you need to go into that conversation knowing what to ask.
Tool 3 targets the social jet lag problem. This is simpler than it sounds, and more impactful than most sleep interventions. Morning light. 10 minutes of bright outdoor light within 30 to before screens, before coffee, before anything else. This single input anchors all of your cellular clocks to the same time signal simultaneously. It is the strongest circadian synchronizer available to you without prescription. Research shows it is the equivalent of a mild reset for all those trillions of out-of-sync cellular clocks. And it is free, and it takes 10 minutes.
Before your phone, before your coffee, before you check the emails that accumulated while you weren't sleeping. 10 minutes outside. Then, support your gut, limit evening screens, check your hormones, and find your sleep window, or near a bright window. This one intervention, applied consistently, has measurable effects on sleep architecture within 2 weeks. Morning light, 10 minutes. Within 30 minutes of waking. I have been starting every morning with my phone. Tomorrow I'm going outside first. 3 months ago, I thought I was broken. Tonight I found out I am not broken. I am running a body that is going through something real, with systems I didn't know I had, that respond to specific inputs I didn't know existed. That is actually not a crisis. That is information. That is the beginning of something fixable.
The disruption has an end. And the sleep that is waiting on the other side of it, given the right information and the right support, is genuinely available to you. You are not watching the ceiling forever. You are in a period of biological transition that nobody adequately prepared you for. Using systems nobody adequately explained to you, with interventions nobody told you were specific and targeted and real. Now you know. Now you can stop trying to fix the wrong things.
You asked, why can't I sleep anymore? I have told you why, and I have told you what to do about it, specifically, mechanistically, with the newest science available. You are broken. You are not simply getting older. You are running a body that deserves the complete explanation. And now you have it. Sleep is still yours. Go and get it back. Wide awake.